Though it may sound like something out of a movie or a video game, Billionaires Row is a real place. In Manhattan, around the southern end of Central Park on 57th Street, you'll find a series of super tall skyscrapers called Billionaires Row. Each of these buildings are at least 300 meters or 1,000 feet tall, and each one boasts some of the most expensive living spaces in the world. Technically, all of these places are apartments, but realistically, these so-called apartments are way bigger than yours and far more luxurious than even most mansions. Billionaires Row are where the super-rich elite hang their head when hustling and bustling about one of the most important cities on the planet. So, who lives in Billionaires Row? Nobody you personally know, that's virtually a guarantee, but you've at least heard of these people. For example, the founder of Dell Technologies, Michael Dell, resides on Billionaires Row. In 2015, he paid roughly $100 million to live in the 157 tower, and by living there, we mean he bought out the entirety of the top 2 floors. It was, at the time, the most expensive residential purchase in New York City history. Michael Dell, by the way, is worth around $27 billion. So, purchasing a 2-floor penthouse suite in the middle of Manhattan ran him a mere 1/270th of his fortune. That's like if you had $50,000 in your bank account and bought 3 new video games totaling $185. Of course, Dell isn't the only billionaire who lives on Billionaires Row. Up until recently, hedge fund oligarch Daniel Ock resided at 15 Central Park West before putting it on the market for $57.5 million. For that much money, you would be getting 4,739 square feet of pure luxury. This place sports 3 bedrooms, a library, a huge living room, a fully stocked high-end kitchen, and a large dressing room. Plus, as is the case with most of these penthouse suites, the view of Central Park simply cannot be beaten. You're probably thinking that's an awful lot of money. Well, perhaps you should consider becoming an incredibly successful hedge fund manager. They seem to be raking in all the big bucks. In addition to Ock, another hedge fund manager named Bill Ackman led an investor group who forked over $91.5 million for a 13,554 square foot apartment back over at 157. This apartment features 6 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, 2 half bathrooms, and a winter garden enclosed in 50 feet of glass. Does that sound intriguing? Well, you might be able to buy it. Ackman does not seem interested in actually living there. In fact, he confessed that his main motive for buying it was fun, and that flipping it for profit is a definite possibility. Yes, a billionaire hedge fund manager paid $90 million for a luxury apartment because he had nothing better to do. Let the hate flow through you. Give in to the dark side. The list goes on. In 2016, Saudi Arabian retail guru Fawaz Al-Haqair paid almost $88 million for a top-floor penthouse at 432 Park Avenue. Amazingly, he got a bargain, as the sellers were hoping for $95 million. Either way, he paid top dollar for 8,255 square feet of pure decadence. This apartment has heated bathroom floors, a wood-burning fireplace, and windows that measure 10 feet by 10 feet. And here you thought finding an apartment with more than 2 windows at all was an amazing deal. Let's move on to another building on the row, 220 Central Park South. This is where you want to go if your goal is to eavesdrop on your neighbours playing beautiful music. That's because living there is none other than Sting, formerly of the Police, and currently of, well, Sting. In 2019, the rock star and Nabokov enthusiast purchased a 3-bedroom penthouse suite in this building for $65.7 million. He got the money for the purchase after selling his Central Park West apartment for $50 million. And he got the money for that purchase by writing Roxanne. So if you want Sting's life, go do that. Or perhaps you want Ken Griffin's life. Yet another hedge fund manager, Griffin absolutely obliterated Michael Dell's purchasing record in January 2019. He moved into 220 Central Park South and bought out 3 entire floors in the process. This cost him an incredible $238 million, which is almost a risk considering he's only worth $12 billion. Go big or go home, apparently, or in this case, go to a smaller home. Details are scarce on what exactly is in Griffin's new home, but come on, it's 3 entire floors in one of the most prestigious and expensive buildings in Billionaires Row. It's comfortable, to say the least. Let's jump back over to 15 Central Park West for a bit. In 2011, it was reported that a Russian fertilizer kingpin named Dmitry Rybolovlev paid $88 million for a penthouse there. Forbes later learned that the actual owner of the place was his daughter, Ekaterina. Yes, even if your father's business is, of all things, fertilizer, you might wind up on Billionaires Row. Her 6,744 square foot penthouse features 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, a library, 2 wet bars, and a gallery. Not bad for someone who only purchased it so she could have a place to crash when visiting New York City during her studies at a posh university that she wouldn't name because her family's more interested in a rich life than a public one. So after hearing all of this, perhaps you've decided you want to live on Billionaires Row. Well, you better start saving your money now. Not every apartment in these towers cost $80, $100 or $230 million, but should you wish to move into a Billionaires Row apartment, expect to shell out an average of $38.5 million. If you do manage to secure such cash, however, you will have plenty of options to choose from. Currently, roughly half of the apartments on Billionaires Row are empty. This is probably because there really aren't that many super rich people in the world. Let's put it this way. They say your living expenses should cover no more than 1/3 of your income. Well, if it costs $38 million to live somewhere, it's best that you have a net worth of well over $100 million. Give or take, only about 50,000 people on Earth have that much money, and there's an entire planet for them to live on. They're not all going to hang around Manhattan just because there's some prime real estate available there. That means there are plenty of great places for you to live in if you have the scratch. Many of them are priced below average too, lucky you. Let's take a quick look at some of them to whet your appetite when you become super rich and need to move on up to that deluxe apartment in the sky. This 6-bedroom, 6-bathroom suite is actually a steal, compared to other super expensive condos on Billionaires Row anyway. For just under $20 million, you get all that room plus a 132-bottle wine fridge, 100 feet of glass overlooking Central Park, a 65-inch range complete with 6 burners, 2 ovens and a grill, and a private landing. After all, chances are good you'll travel to and from this place in a private helicopter. You high roller, you. Want to live near Michael Dell? Then fork over $27 million for this apartment at 157 Tower. Spending that much money earns you 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, and almost 4,200 square feet of living space. $120,000 a month seems like some awfully steep rent, but once you see the priceless Christina Watka art piece gracefully slide away to expose a state-of-the-art television set, you'll realize it's worth every penny. If you want to live on Billionaires Row but don't need a whole lot of space, apartment 63N might be for you. This condo features 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and 1,435 square feet of living space. This includes ceilings stretching 107 feet high and a gourmet kitchen featuring customized cabinets and other furniture. All you need is a mere $9.7 million, and this humble abode is all yours. The prices just keep getting lower and lower. Here's a Billionaires Row condo that will only cost you $3.9 million. You get quite a bit for that bit of pocket change too. Namely 3 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms spread out over 2,154 square feet. It comes fully furnished with access to a state-of-the-art gym and even a porter, like the one in Macbeth. That's right, if you thought porters only existed in Shakespearean Scotland, think again. They are also on Billionaires Row. Let's wrap things up with perhaps the best bargain of all. You don't need to be a crazy rich millionaire to afford apartment A. Being a regular millionaire will work just fine. 3 bedrooms and 3 baths cover 1,800 square feet in this condo. The kitchen sports a huge pantry, the ceilings are super high, and Broadway is just minutes away. If this sounds great for you, we've got some great news. You don't even need to spend $2 million to move in here. The current asking price is a mere $1,999,000. You won't need to become a hedge fund guru or write Roxanne to make that kind of money. You can probably get away with simply being decent at hedge funds or writing a middling hit like a Brand New Day.